Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today I'm continuing my teaming up with Mobil 1 to find my favourite engine sound. Now you might have seen the first video where I picked my winner, the Aston Martin Vantage GT8, but I need you guys to vote for me using the link in the description down below, and when you give a vote you'll also have the option to enter a competition to win £2,000 worth of free fuel. So we're doing this and we're going to take a look today in a little bit more detail at some of the other cars that I've filmed in recent years. Some of my favourite cars and favourite engine sounds that weren't at the Goodwood Festival of Speed Supercar Paddock where I filmed the first video. The Vantage GT8 was my winner, but there are some other pretty good contenders in there too. So we're going to get started, take a look at a couple of cars. Now to get us started, I'm going to stick with Aston Martin and their hypercar, the Aston Martin One-77. Now this has been one of my favourite cars for a while because to look at, it is truly, truly beautiful. But under the hood, you also have a 7.3 litre naturally aspirated V12 with 750 brake horsepower and 750 Newton meters of torque. This is a pretty powerful engine, a very, very special engine, and in fact one of the best, I think, sounding V12s that has ever been made. So I'm going to play you some clips because I've filmed quite a few 177s from around the world over recent years. Let's hear this thunderous and wonderful V12. If that didn't whet your appetite, we're going to have a look at the new Ford GT. So the GT is spectacular in terms of looks, the aerodynamics, everything is just crazy about that car, but it's also powered by something unusual as well. The engine in the Ford GT is a 3.5 litre twin-turbocharged EcoBoost V6. Now it's quite unusual for a supercar to have a V6 engine. There have only been a couple, Jaguar XJ220, a notable example, and of course you have the flat six engines in Porsches, the inline sixes in BMWs and other manufacturers. You've got all sorts of different cars that use it, but at the very top end, it's quite rare. The Ford GT's engine, they haven't released the final specifications other than that it's going to have over 600 horsepower. We'll have to wait for the final number. But for a V6, it sounds very, very nice. Definitely, I think, I'm looking forward to seeing more with the car and hearing it under load, but for now, just a couple of glimpses at what's to come. Now we're going to head to Sweden and visit Koenigsegg to take a look at the CCX and CCXR. So these are older models, but they are cars that I've been fortunate enough to drive a few times, and what experiences they were. There's a 4.7 litre V8 with twin superchargers. That means in the CCXR, if you're running on E85 ethanol fuel, they can also run on normal regular 98 octane, but on ethanol you get 1,018 horsepower. Only 806 the normal way, just 800, no biggie. But yeah, they sound pretty good. In fact, when we're at the runway in Koenigsegg, at Koenigsegg's factory in Sweden, they sound insane. We've had 12 cylinders, 6 cylinders, and then 8. But I'm going to go back to a 12-cylinder car and in fact revisit one that featured in my first video, the Ferrari F12 TDF. This came in for me a very, very close second place behind the GT8. I'm more of a V8's man slightly for engine sound, but the TDF is something else. The noise of the car is breathtaking. I think it's probably one of the best V12 sounds out there. And in particular right now, I'm going to look back to one of my favourite memories from recent times with the videos I've made, and that's at the end of last year when I flew to Hungary to catch up with my friend Josh Car2, where we went to collect and take delivery of his TDF. Now, when we were in the car, I think for the first time we drove away, we both just turned and looked at each other and our jaws dropped. The noise, we weren't expecting it. It's completely mesmerizing. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal sound. So I wanted to give another mention to the F12 TDF. That noise! And your face! That is amazing! I didn't realise how insane this was going to sound.
That is so loud. I was at 4,000 RPM there, without much gas.
Engines can sound pretty good right out of the box, but you can also sometimes make them sound even better. So if we take my Cayman GT4 for example, the engine in it is the 3.8 litre flat six from the 911 Carrera S, fitted into the smaller Cayman chassis, a very good combination as it happens, where I have fitted an IPE system, Innertech performance exhaust, from the headers back to the end to give the car more noise, more tone, and just a sound from that flat six, which I just love. I absolutely love the noise of the GT4, and this is an example of a six-cylinder engine sounding insane. So let's take a listen to my GT4. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, I'm going to go back to another V12 now. We're going to head to Italy and the Pagani Zonda, not just any Zonda, the Cinque. This is like a poster car. I'm sure lots of you, just like me, are utterly obsessed with Cinques. And over the last 5 or 6 years, when I've been filming videos, I've filmed a couple of them. There are obviously only 5 Cinques. It is the Italian word for 5. 5 coupes, 5 roadsters out there in the world. I filmed a good number of those, and in fact a memory I absolutely loved was when I headed to the factory once upon a time and we got to hear that 7.3 litre naturally aspirated V12 just making some blips and giving a teaser of what it's capable of, before on another occasion I got to go out for the ride of my life. So let's take a little listen to the Pagani Zonda Cinque and then the Zonda 760 Nonno. Basically the same engine setup, but even crazier. We've had a pretty good set of engine sounds, but I'm going to go back to my winner now, the Aston Martin Vantage GT8. 4.7 litre, 446 horsepower, naturally aspirated V8 with a titanium exhaust system from the factory that gives it one of the best, and obviously my favourite, engine sounds out there. Now, when I visited the factory for the first time to spec my GT8 and talk about the options and things, I shot some video clips with the car that was there. I couldn't share it at the time because I was keeping it under wraps until I revealed that I had one on order. But now I can share some clips of that car starting and a couple of blips of it, and my word, what a sound. we have it. My favourite engine sound with Mobil One is the Aston Martin Vantage GT8. So do go and use the link in the description down below to give a vote for me and the GT8. And in doing so, you will have the option to win £2,000 worth of free fuel. That's pretty cool, I think. So I hope you've enjoyed this little look back at some of my favourite engine sounds, some of the other things that I have filmed to date. But that's it for now. I'll catch up with you again when we have a winner. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later. Cheers.